Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Speak Up Sal. We're back for some more. As of right now, I'm uploading these to YouTube only. If you're watching this fairly recently after I posted it, uploading them as unlisted, just sharing them with my friends, getting some feedback, making sure everything's working well. My goal for the next week or two is to get 5, maybe up to 10 episodes done, uploaded to YouTube unlisted. Then I will release them publicly every day or two so everybody can watch them and have a lot to watch as I'm as I'm creating more. And then I would also like to get these uploaded to Spotify within the next week or two. So I believe I know how to do that. I don't think it should be too much of an issue. It's just an MP3 file. It would be nice to be able to upload them as a video on Spotify, kind of like Joe Rogan does, but I don't quite know if I'm capable of that. I don't know if there's any prerequisites needed to be able to upload videos to Spotify. So we're going to leave that at that. But today we're going to be talking about something we touched on in the previous episode during my Oracle card reading. We talked about the angel numbers and so on and so forth. I won't spoil it. You can go watch it. What we're going to be talking about today is generational healing. And I have a little thing I wrote about it to explain what it is. So I'm going to read that and then just kind of dive into it for 10, 15 minutes. And I know this is something that will relate to everyone, no matter who you are, whether you're my friend or I don't know you at all. It's more likely than not that this applies to you, even just the slightest bit. I feel like a lot of people this will apply to very heavily. It'll really hit home. I know it does, for me and a lot of the friends I have, and I think it's a very important topic to touch on. So let's get right into it. Generational healing. Okay, so let me read this. Bear with me here. Okay. Generational healing refers to the process of identifying, acknowledging, and healing the emotional, psychological, and spiritual wounds that have been passed down from one generation to the next. It is based on the belief that unresolved traumas, pain, and negative patterns of behavior can be inherited and perpetuated across generations, affecting individuals and families on a very deep level. Generational healing recognizes that unresolved emotional and psychological issues in one generation can be passed down to the next, creating patterns of behaviors that can be harmful to individuals, families, and communities. These patterns can manifest in a variety of ways, including addiction, depression, anxiety, relationship issues, and more. By breaking the cycle of negative patterns and healing past traumas, generational healing aims to create a healthier legacy for future generations. The goal of this healing is to break these negative patterns and create a new legacy of health and well-being. This involves exploring family history, acknowledging and working through past traumas, and developing strategies for healing and growth. Generational healing can have a profound impact on individuals and families, helping them understand and heal the past in order to create a brighter future. By breaking free from negative patterns and creating a new legacy of health and well-being, individuals and family can create a positive impact not on just themselves, but for many generations to come. Generational healing can be approached through a variety of methods, including therapy, counseling, meditation, mindfulness practice, and spiritual or religious practices. It requires a willingness to confront difficult emotions and experiences, as well as commitment to creating a positive change for all. That's all I got on that. So, past few weeks before I started recording, I had just taken a bunch of notes, wrote quite a few things, and that was my little peace of mind on generational healing. And let me just keep it open so that I can talk about parts that are very important. The reason it relates to me so much right now is because I am about to become a father, which is the most amazing news I've ever gotten. And I want to make sure my baby girl is, healthy and happy and can, live a good life. Who wouldn't want that for their kid? And obviously, all parents try to do that, and they do their best to do that. And me focusing on this topic will just make sure that I can do it to the best of my ability. So that's the goal there. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Oh no. Ooh. If I sneeze, I'm going to have to edit this podcast and cut the sneeze out because my sneezes are violent. So sorry if I'm sniffling. I'm trying to hold it back. Okay. All right. The part that I feel like is relatable to a lot of friends and family and people all over the world, anybody that would be listening, is when their family struggles with any type of mental health issue, anxiety, depression, addiction, stuff like that. And it can cause an emotional effect on, everybody around them, the whole environment. And it's not their fault. I don't mean to say it in a negative way. Somebody with addiction and mental health issues inherent in that. And now it's just their job to learn how to heal it and live with it and take care of it and not let it overtake their lives. And obviously that's easier said than done. You know, at the end of this, it talks about how, I talked about how therapy, counseling, meditation, mindfulness practice, and spiritual or religion practices can be very helpful to this. A lot of those just preach about positivity and good health. And that's, if you can get yourself to lead a life that is on that path, that's going to be good for you in generations to come. And, you know, and as well for your partner. You know, I'm in a very serious relationship. Obviously, I'm engaged and I have a baby on the way, and I wouldn't, even though I have these mental health issues, I wouldn't want them to affect my relationship with my partner and my fiance. Oh, I still get butterflies when I say that, by the way. That's a big word. That's a lot to take in still. Now the part that I feel like this one's bittersweet, the last sentence I wrote, because it's hard. It's hard to touch on. It requires a willingness to confront these difficult emotions and experiences, as well as a commitment to creating positive change for all. So it's like when you go to an AA or an NA meeting, you know, first step you have to do is admit that you have that problem, and then you have to be willing to work on that problem is like a summary of the next few steps that they have. So that's the first step. That takes a lot of time and energy. For some people never get over that bump in life where they have to be willing to confront it. I was very unwilling to confront these things in my youth. It took, honestly, until I was in my 20s to really like buckle down and try and figure out what was going on in my head. You know, why I had so little understanding of why I felt the way I felt. You know, being a lot more in touch with your mind, body, and soul and your emotions is very helpful. It has helped me a lot, you know, handle my life in day-to-day situations. You know, I won't lie, having a baby can be a very stressful situation, but now that I have I have had for a little bit here, my emotions and mental well-being in order, that it's actually not really a stressful thing. It's a beautiful thing in life. It's a blessing. It's a gift. And I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, I feel like it motivated me to do something like this, you know, to be helpful, to be a teacher, if you will, of, you know, what I think is important and what I think is helpful in many people's lives. So sorry, I got a text message. Let me go to the next part that I wanted to talk about. I think the first definition, the first sentence in the definition is very important to recognize, like what this is. Like generational healing, it's not a negative thing. You know, it's not being like, oh, your family's kind of effed up or you're kind of effed up. You got to fix it before it's too late. It's not that at all. You know, it's never too late to work on these things. This is just here to help you. You know, don't take it as a diss. Don't take it as like me speaking negatively on people with these problems. I'm personally one who has, like, I have a lot of these problems. So I'm just saying this like as a friend, as help, that that this could be beneficial in your life too. You know, anybody. So generational healing refers to the process of identifying, acknowledging, and healing the emotional, psychological, and spiritual wounds that have been passed down from one generation to the next. I think that last part, the spiritual wounds, is what really touches to me, because so many people see it at just surface level. Be like, oh, this friend of mine has addiction, or this parent of mine is anxious or depressed, or whatever it is. That's very surface level. You know, if you can tap into like the trauma behind it or the spiritual damage it's caused, that's when you can begin the healing process, I believe. That's when, once you get stuck out of that static stage, I eventually will touch on this, but like stage 1, static, stuck in addiction, and your poor mental state. I will eventually talk about that. I don't want to touch too much on it because a lot of it is what my mentor taught me. And I would love to have him on here, you know, to talk about his book he's writing and everything, and some of these topics that I've been helping him do the graphic design and artwork for. You know, a lot of this, my job of graphic design and doing this podcast, a lot of this has helped me, just the process of doing it. I've learned a lot through the way, not even just about like Photoshop or whatever. I've learned a lot emotionally and physically, and I feel the best I've ever felt, and I've got the most going on in life that I've ever had. I'm getting married, I'm having a kid. I just moved for the 18th time or whatever. I've moved so many times, and I don't feel bad at all. So if we go back to the previous episode, if you've seen it, and we talk about the card A Tidy House. A tidy house is something that has been like popping up in like probably 85% of my card readings in the past 2 to 3 years. And I cleaned out all the negativity. I cleaned out all the toxicity. And as much as it still hurts to say, like, I got rid of a lot of negativity in my life, including people, That's a hard thing to do. I don't like to do it. I feel bad about doing it, but man, do I feel great. I feel the healthiest, and I feel like I look and I'm emotionally the best I've ever been. I'm the best form of myself I've seen yet. And I'm very happy about that. It wasn't easy, and it's not done. I'm not just saying that, like, I'm making this podcast because I did all these things. No, it's still a process. Every day is different. This morning was a little bit of a struggle for me, but, I cleared my mind, I meditated, and now I'm doing the podcast, and I'm all good again. And I got work in 2 hours. Whatever. I'm excited about work. It's just like a 4.5-hour shift. It's not too bad. So I don't want anybody to ever think I'm like preaching from the heavens, like I'm talking down to you because you don't do these things. I'm on the same level as you, trying to bring you up with me. That is my goal. And I've had to learn that some people will want to come up with you. Some people are fine where they are, and some people want to bring you down with them. And that's a very, very difficult thing to understand in life. And all I want to do is bring myself up and the people I love and care about up. And anybody who listens to this, if you want to come along for the ride with me, cool. This is a great life to live. I feel awesome. I'm so, so happy with where I'm at in life, finally. When I was running from these issues, when I was unwilling to, what does this last sentence say? Ready? So it requires willingness to confront difficult emotions and experiences. When I was not willing to do that, I was the unhappiest and most stressed and most like of an emotional train wreck I've ever been. And it's crazy how, it shouldn't be crazy, but it's crazy to me how when you put the work in and when you get your mind right, everything just falls together. When you have faith in something, anything, you can just have faith in the good in life. I have full faith in the unknown, that whatever is out there, it's got something good in store for me, clearly. Especially with this baby girl on the way. It's the most incredible blessing I've ever experienced. I'm so, so excited. I would totally be down to do an episode with the wifey in the nursery that we just finished. It's so beautiful in there. She's got more she, as in baby girl, has more closet space, more clothes than me, and it's hysterical, and her room is awesome. It's so cool. It's so cute. And if you were watching this and you're someone who helped me make this possible, my utmost unbelievable respect and love for you. Thank you. The people that have, given us clothes and gave us the crib and, rocking shit, like, I wouldn't be able to do this without the help I've received. And I'm so, so grateful for it. I could have done it like physically, but the help I've received and the, like, just more so emotionally than physically, it has just absolutely changed my life and, given me the motivation to give that back to other people now. I feel like this applies to a lot of people in their youth, like high school age. The younger the kids, and, this applies to myself, tend to be a little more selfish. They're living in their world, and that's okay. That's part of growing up. Some people, get out of that quicker than others, and I'm glad I got out of that. I'm glad I'm living my life with a purpose now. It's a very, very important thing. My mentor said to me, and this has really, really stuck with me over the past couple of years, and it's just keep asking questions. Just keep asking questions, and your questions will be answered. So, sorry, the sniffling again. Here we go. So, that applied a lot when I started my journey in spirituality and through the oracle cards and stuff, and it still does today. I have my goals in place, which is great. That's important, but diving into the unknown with those goals is also great because you can't plan every day of your life. That's like, I'm definitely a little bit of a control freak, and I was like that for a long time. So, for me to now be able to let go of that, and it's helped me so much. So if anybody here can relate to that and you need help letting go of that, reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, or, send me an email through my, I'll eventually have support contact info once I get this fully set up. But don't ever hesitate to reach out. Don't ever hesitate to drop a comment, ask a question, whatever it is. And, I'll be here. I'll answer honestly because I'm learning with you guys. I'm no guru. I'm no master of the mind. I'm just some 23-year-old who's trying to figure shit out too, So that's what that is, That's the beauty of life. It can be unknown. You don't have to have full control of everything in life. But that was a great 16 minutes. But I'm not going to chop it up because I did not sneeze. That is awesome. And I did a little test recording beforehand, and everything looked and sounded good. And also, a little round of applause to myself. I didn't wear headphones for no reason. So I did it in the first episode, took them off, and then I was editing a little bit of the second episode, and I'm like, I had my headphones on for 24 minutes by myself in an empty room, like my living room in the middle of the night. So I will eventually get out of that habit. I do love those headphones though. But yeah. And also got some orchids. Big fan of orchids, big fan of plants and flowers and stuff like that. We have so many plants in this apartment. There's actually 3 orchids right behind the webcam right now that you can't see. I just got this one today, so I put it up here. Still got full bloom and everything. But yeah. I definitely want to do an episode on that. I have this spiritual book with a little deck of cards. It's called it's the Herbiary. The book's something about herbiary, and you can draw a card and it tells you what plants and herbs you would need in your life and what they symbolize and how they can heal. And I have most of my notes drawn up for that. So hopefully I'll get on that soon. I've got a few more of these mental health, positivity, and spirituality podcasts that I want to record. I probably got 4 or 5 of these. And then I'm going to move on to a little bit of a different topic for a little bit, let that resonate with you guys, and then I'll keep coming back to it. My goal is to just jump around and do what I love and, have fun with it. You never work a day in your life if you love what you do. Between doing a podcast and teaching kids and adults tennis, I don't work at all. I love what I do. It doesn't even feel like work most days. So yeah. 18. Hit the 18 mark. Hell yeah. There we go. I think that's it. I mean, there's not really anything else I need to touch on in terms of generational healing. If you are willing to dive into that journey, good luck. You fucking got this. It's a tough one. It's emotional and it's straining of your energy, but it's worth it. And it takes time. It could take a whole lifetime. It could take multiple generations. So try to remember that. Don't get too frustrated if you can't find all the answers right away. Yeah. And sorry for the last episode, my dog did not stick around to do the outro with me. She went to bed with her mother. She's laying over there on the floor right now. She's been hanging out with me, helping me edit podcasts and stuff all day. So yeah. Yeah. Also, this is the first time I didn't do a podcast fresh out of the shower. So if I look completely different, sorry to throw you off. I did shave my head and dye it blonde about 9 months ago. So hence the Wolverine blonde streaks. That's all right. Whatever. It's cool. Man, what a day. What a beautiful day. 4 days in a row of recording. Very proud of myself. I would like to bang out 1 tonight as well. Possibly 2 tomorrow. I really want to get to 12. I really want to get to 12 before my summer schedule starts. It's a very, very attainable goal. I got until June 19th before I'm working like crazy and probably only will be able to do 1 or 2 episodes a week. And then, yeah, that's the goal. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for all the wonderful and positive feedback that I've gotten so far. I appreciate and love you all. And I hope that you enjoy doing this or enjoy listening to this as much as I enjoy doing it. So that's been another episode of Speak Up Sal. Till next time. Peace.